Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing good. Started with your studies also. So, in the last video, we have started 9th standard syllabus biology, and in that we have started with the first chapter, that is fundamental unit of life. And in the fundamental unit of life, we have just started the chapter. We have discussed what is a cell. Then after that, we have discussed the types of cells, that is prokaryotic cell, eukaryotic cell. Then apart from that, we have discussed the organisms also based on number of cells, like we have unicellular organisms and we have multicellular organisms. And even we have discussed the difference between plant cell and animal cell. Now in today's video, we are going to discuss what exactly the cell is made up of. Now a typical cell is made up of three parts. We have nucleus, which is present in the center and it has all the genetic material present. Then after that we have the cytoplasm, whatever gel-like substance which is present inside the cell, that is called cytoplasm, and the cytoplasm has all the important organelles embedded in the cytoplasm. Then after that we have cell membrane. Cell membrane is the outermost covering in case of animal cells, and in case of plant cell it is the second most outermost covering which is present. Now what do I mean by this? You can see plasma membrane, that is also called cell membrane. It is the outermost delicate covering which is present in case of cell. In case of animal cell, I can say it is the outermost covering. In case of plant cell, we have the first covering, that is a cell wall, which is a quite hard and rigid, protective in nature, and just below that we have cell membrane. Now cell membrane is also called selectively permeable membrane. Why it is called selectively permeable membrane? Because it allows only the selected molecules to enter inside the cell. What do I mean by selective molecules? Basically, outside the cell, any component which is good for the cell, it will allow only those molecules to enter inside. If outside harmful components are present, in that case these components will not be allowed to enter inside the cell. Suppose outside the cell we have toxin and we have glucose molecule. So cell is going to be very smart. It will allow only the glucose molecule to enter inside the cell, because toxin is harmful for the cell. So in that case toxin will not be allowed to enter inside the cell. Now basically what plasma membrane is made up of? Plasma membrane is made up of phospholipid bilayer and embedded proteins in that. Now what do I mean by this? So you can see from the diagram here, you can see two yellow color layers, just like a sandwich model. This is also called sandwich model of plasma membrane. You can see here you can see some ball like structures. So these two layers are phospholipid layers. Okay, so these two layers are phospholipid layers. When I say phospholipid bilayer, here we have lipid structure and the phosphate molecule. Here also the same phospholipid layer. So we have two layers of phospholipid, and in that you can see some purple color structures which are embedded, blue or purple color structures which are embedded over here. These blue color structures are channel protein. These blue color structures are called as the channel proteins. Now apart from that, there is one more type of protein, that is called peripheral proteins. So peripheral proteins are present on the peripheral region of the structures. Then apart from that, you can see integral proteins. So here you can see protein molecules, different types of protein molecules, like we have integral proteins, peripheral proteins, channel proteins, alpha helix protein, globular proteins, glycoproteins. So these are the structures which are embedded in the phospholipid layer. So this is the structure of cell membrane or plasma membrane. Now apart from that, it may also show cholesterol layer as well as glycolipid kind of layer. Now the next thing is function of cell membrane. Now what is the function? The question arises, what is the function of cell membrane or plasma membrane? The first thing is it provides shape to contents of the cell. This point is specifically related to animal cells, because in animal cells we know that there is no cell wall present. So there is only cell membrane which is going to be present on the cell. So because of this, it will provide a proper shape to the cell. Now apart from that, it also provides mechanical barrier to the cell. Now what do I mean by mechanical barriers is cell wall is not selective permeable. It will allow all the molecules to enter inside the cell. So cell wall is any molecule can easily enter inside the cell through cell wall. So only safety layer which is present in case of cell is the cell membrane. So it is a mechanical barrier. It will allow the selected molecules to enter inside the cell, and those molecules which are harmful for the cell, those molecules will not be allowed to enter inside the cell. And the next thing you can see, it allows only the selected molecules of movement of the substance to enter inside the cell. After that, the next term related to movement of molecule is diffusion. What do I mean by diffusion? Movement of solute particles from higher concentration to lower concentration is diffusion. Now diffusion means, solute means it can be anything, it can be a solid, liquid or gases. So any molecule which is entering inside the cell from higher concentration to lower concentration is called as a diffusion. Suppose if a cell is kept in any particular solution, so the movement which is taking place from higher concentration, because outside concentration is more, outside the quantity is more, so when the movement it takes place from high to low, this is called as a diffusion. Example is exchange of gases during respiration. This is the best example which we can see. Outside environment, we know that there is more amount of oxygen, and inside the body, suppose there is a less amount of oxygen. So in that case, there will be exchange of gases. The oxygen will be allowed to enter. It will gushes inside your respiratory tract, because just to maintain the balance, just to maintain the equilibrium. And because inside the body carbon dioxide content is more and outside the carbon dioxide content is less. So in that case, the carbon dioxide from body, from respiratory tract, will move outside to the environment. So this is the best example of diffusion. Now after that, we need to understand the second term, that is called osmosis. When I say osmosis, it is a movement of solvent particles from lower concentration to higher concentration in presence of semi-permeable membrane. Now it means it is specifically related to cell. It is specifically related to cell membrane. Now what it says, suppose any cell is kept in a solution and the solution is less concentrated. What I mean by less concentrated means solution is dilute. It has, basically solution is made up of two components. We have the solute and we have the solvent. Suppose sugar plus water, I am mixing sugar molecules in water. So in that case, sugar will be a solute and water will be a solvent. So when I am making a solution and I am adding some cell, so here there will be a movement. Movement will take place from lower concentration of solvent to higher concentration of solvent. It means, suppose outside environment, in outside environment, the solute is less concentrated. That solution is less concentrated. It has only 10 molecules of glucose. And inside the cell we have 20 molecules of glucose. So here I can understand that outside environment we have less amount of solute, and inside environment we have more amount of solute. So simply we can say, क्योंकि बाहर का concentration कम है, इसके लिए water content ज़्यादा है. Inside concentration, solute concentration ज़्यादा है तो water concentration कम है, because both of them are inversely proportional to each other. So movement कहाँ से होगा? Water will move from inside the cell to from outside the cell to inside the cell. तो water क्या करेगा? It will enter inside the cell. So this is called as a osmosis. Okay. अगर reverse condition देखते हैं, in reverse condition also we can understand कि outside concentration is more. बाहर का concentration बहुत ज़्यादा है and inside the cell concentration is less. So in that case also you can see concentration, solute concentration ज़्यादा है तो definitely solvent concentration कम हो जाएगी. Inside the cell क्योंकि solute concentration कम है तो solvent concentration ज़्यादा हो जाएगा. तो what will happen? Solute will move from inside the cell to outside the cell, just to maintain the equilibrium. So here the movement will take place from inside the cell to outside the cell. This is called as osmosis. Example is absorption of water by roots, or suppose you are soaking seeds in water. Seeds जब water में डालते हैं तो क्या दिखते हैं? Water you can see after some period of time you can see the seeds get swell up. स्वेलिंग क्यों होती है उसमें? बिकॉज इनसाइड द सीड देयर इज नो अमाउंट ऑफ वाटर एंड आउटसाइड वी नो दैट इट्स कम्प्लीटली अ डाइल्यूट सोल्यूशन. ये सोल्यूशन है ही नहीं, ठीक है, इट्स जस्ट अ प्योर वाटर. सो इन दैट केस व्हाट यू कैन सी, यहाँ पे मूवमेंट हो रहा है बिकॉज यहाँ बाहर आउटसाइड एनवायरनमेंट में कॉन्सेंट्रेशन इज टू लेस एंड इनसाइड द सेल बिकॉज सल्यूट कॉन्सेंट्रेशन जो है इसका कॉन्सेंट्रेशन बहुत ज़्यादा है. तो इन दैट केस व्हाट विल हैपन, द मूवमेंट विल टेक प्लेस फ्रॉम आउटसाइड टू इनसाइड. Okay, the second example I can consider is salad. When you put salt on salad, what you can see, after some period of time it becomes loosened. Okay, on that salad becomes watery. Why is it so? Because inside this cell, inside the materials which we have, in that we have less amount of water concentration. Okay, and in that basically we have solute and the solvent concentration, but when we are adding salt on it, what will happen, you are increasing the concentration outside the cell. concentration जो है solute का concentration बाहर ज़्यादा है and solvent concentration बहुत कम है. तो in that case what will happen, again the movement will take place from inside the cell to outside just to maintain the balance. तो इसके लिए पूरा जो salad होता है वो watery हो जाता है. Okay, now the next thing is types of osmotic solutions. Already we have discussed these things, again I am explaining all these things. Types of osmotic solutions means what? Basically we know, already I told you, any solution is made up of two components. We have the solute and the solvent. So if suppose hypotonic solution means what? The solution which has lower concentration than the other. So in this condition it will be less concentrated. When I say less concentrated, more amount of solvent and less amount of solute. Then the next thing is hypertonic solution. Hyper means excess. So here we have higher concentration of solute and less concentration of solvent. And the third thing is isotonic, in which solution has equal concentration than the other. So here from the diagram you can understand कि in the first condition, suppose I am considering the first condition, hypotonic solution. So in that case you can see, because outside concentration of solute is less and the concentration of solvent is more. So as a result of this what will happen, the water will enter inside the cell, because inside we have more concentrated, outside we have less concentrated. So this is a condition of hypotonic. Okay, so water will enter inside the cell to maintain the balance, and as a result of this the cell is going to imbibe, it is going to swell out. The second condition you can see, this is example of hypertonic, it is example of isotonic solution. So in that case what you can see, because inside and outside both the concentrations are equal, जितना condition inside also जो भी condition है, the same condition is present outside also. So you can see whatever amount of water is entering inside the cell, the same amount of water is going outside the cell. So as a result of this यहाँ पे cell structure में कोई भी difference नहीं आएगा, it will remain as it is. So this is the example of isotonic solution. And the third example is hypertonic solution. Now in case of hypertonic solution, because inside the solute concentration is more and the solvent concentration is too less, and outside यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है, solute concentration कम है, solvent concentration बहुत ज़्यादा है. So as a result of this, again to maintain the balance, the water will move outside the cell. So as a result of this what will happen, the cell will start shrinking. So as a result of shrinkage of cell, the cell will become more and more flaccid, and after some period of time it may lyse also. Lysis means breakdown or a leakage of cytoplasm. तो बहुत ज़्यादा होते जाएगा, जब वाटर लीक होते जाएगा तो क्या होगा, the cytoplasm will shrink and it will lyse after some period of time. And the types of osmosis, we have two types. We have endoosmosis and exosmosis. Endoosmosis is movement of water inside the cell, is called as the endoosmosis. It takes place in low concentrated solutions. So endoosmosis is movement of water inside the cell. So अगर water movement जो हो रहा है वो from outside the environment inside the cell हो रहा है, तो in that case we can say that is example of endoosmosis, and it is going to take place in hypotonic solutions. Then next is exosmosis. It is a movement of water outside the cell. So this is called exosmosis. Exo means outside, so outside the cell, and it takes place in high concentration or hyper concentrated solution. Okay, so with this we are ending with this video. In the next video we are going to continue the next part of the chapter.